Lauren, how are you doing?
Very good yourself.
I'm doing all right, thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for being with me, eh?
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
um, let's start right away. Um, Ricky, you're releasing your fifth studio album. Um, what was it? Was it a long process before getting that album released?
My fifth solo studio
Yeah,
album.
yeah, yeah. Your
Yeah.
fifth solo album, yeah.
Yeah, I've released many albums. No, it was easy. You know, the reason there's been a 5-year gap between this and when Patsy Cline Was Crazy, my last record, is I've been busy with Black Star Riders. You know, I've been touring with Black Star Riders. We've been making records, so it was finding the time to record a new album. I had it written for quite a while. I was just waiting to get an opportunity to get into the studio, and that happened in April of last year. And the process was easy. I mean, it was, when you have songs and you have ideas, and the rest is easy.
Yeah.
If you have good songs and lots of ideas, then making records is easy. It's writing the songs and coming up with the ideas that people say is the hard part. But I love to write, and working with Keith Nelson on this was a lot of fun, and we had a great time making the record. There was no stress.
Yeah. How did you choose your musicians? You have really good musicians on that album.
Thank you.
And I'm a big Buckcherry fan, so
Right.
Xavier, he's an amazing
he's great
drummer. How did you?
When Keith and I started writing, and I sort of said, hey, why don't you and I produce my record and we'll co-write the songs. We did the demos. Just me and Keith just did demos, and we just used drum samples for the demos and stuff like that. So when we came to do the album, obviously we wanted to put a band together, and it was kind of like I said, well, I want Robbie Crane to play on it from Black Star Riders. He's, in my opinion, the greatest bass player in the world. I want him on the record. And Keith was like, we should get Xavier from Buckcherry to play drums. And I was like, he's great. So it was kind of like I got my guy from my band, he got his guy from his band. We sort of became Buck Star Riders in the studio. And like you said, it was a really tight band. You're playing with guys that are phenomenal musicians with a great work ethic and a great understanding of what I was trying to achieve. And again, it was fun, it was easy, and I'm really grateful that they did such a great job.
Yeah. Was there any directing line for that album?
Not really, no. I think me and Keith, but we wanted to make a very guitar heavy, anthemic, classic rock and roll album. No frills, no 10-minute songs, just great 3.5-minute in your face rock and roll songs that people would remember and would be catchy and would excited us. I think we felt if we were excited by them, then when the people heard it, they'd be excited by it too.
Yeah. Do you think because I heard the album and it's a
Good.
great album.
Thank you.
It's probably a long time that you didn't go on the road. So are you anxious, or do you want to go on the road soon so that you can with all those great tunes?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to go like everybody else. I want to play, and I want to start going to shows. I want to tour again when it's safe, first and foremost, for all of us. And I want it to be. I don't want people going to shows and worrying about catching a virus, or it's too socially distanced and the vibe's not right. I'm prepared to wait until we at least have some kind of decent normality back, and we can go to like a hot, sweaty rock and roll show like we used to go to. I don't know what, I don't know what it's going to be like. Who knows? I have some shows booked next year, starting in April. Fingers crossed that I get to do them. Yeah, I mean, I miss playing. I mean, for somebody that plays 6 months out of every year for the last 30 years, to not be able to play this year has been very frustrating.
Yeah. Is it still the same anxiety when you release an album, even after 30 years?
Yep, absolutely. You still get nervous. You still hope that it does well. You still hope that people will like it. You still hope that you get nice reviews. You still, all that. I don't think anything's changed. I still, get very nervous the week that it comes out and the week leading up to it. Good nerves, anticipation more than anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a
because
buzz.
the album's coming out in January 21st, eh?
February,
29,
no, February 19th.
February 19. Okay, because it
Yeah.
was written January 29th.
It was originally going to be January 29th. They must have sent you the wrong date, Lauren. It was going to be, they moved it back a couple of weeks.
Okay. So you still have like a month and a half to be anxious about about everything.
Well, the good thing is there's 2 singles already out from the album, and they've both been received really well. So that settles my nerves a little bit.
Is it going to be the same musicians on the road, or?
I don't think so. Probably not in Europe. I think I have people over in Europe that I use, and I used the last time the Fighting Hearts went on tour, and I'll probably work with those guys again. But when we tour the US, I would love to get Keith and Robbie and Xavier to play. We do some US shows.
Yeah. Wait. What made you want to record another solo album? Because you've been so busy with Black Star Riders, with Thin Lizzy, and what
Sure.
do you think that you say, oh, I really got to put my stuff out?
I have so many songs. I mean, I love to write, and not all of them get used for Black Star Riders, and a lot of the ideas that I have maybe aren't quite right for the Black Star Riders. And I love to play guitar, and I love to record. I just love to be busy and be productive. And before I was involved with Thin Lizzy or Black Star Riders, I was making solo records. So why should I just stop because of that? It's something I enjoy, and I really have a good time doing it. So let's keep it going.
There's one song, "Time Don't Seem to Matter." What a great tune that is! And
Thank you.
And your daughter's singing with you. That's a song about your
Yeah.
daughter, I suppose.
Sure. Yeah. It's a song about being away, and just the missing the birthdays and celebrations and holidays and stuff like that when you're away on the road, and just missing her growing up. And I think it's not a negative song. It's sort of saying, okay, I'm away a lot, but when I'm home, I get to spend all this time with you. I get to spend every minute of every day with you when I'm home, which makes up for it, which is great. So the song was kind of about her, and she's a great little singer, and she's really into music, and she plays 2 or 3 instruments. And I was like, you got to sing on this. And she said, she said, okay, one condition. I said, what's that? She said, can we get Starbucks afterwards? And I was like, okay. So
yeah, that didn't cost you much.
It didn't cost me much, man. And she went down and she nailed it, and she was great. And it was a real proud dad moment for me. It really was.
That was the first time you were doing something with her?
Absolutely. First time I've done anything with any of my my family or my kids on a record. Yeah.
It's probably a very big moment. Yeah.
It was huge. I think it was a much bigger moment for me than it was for her, because when you're she was 11 when she sang on it. She's 13 now. She's just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever, Dad, yeah, no problem, okay, and I'm the one that's going, oh, this is so amazing, this is my little girl, so I think the enormity of it, I appreciate it. Maybe in a few years' time she'll think it's pretty cool that she's on a record. But right now right now her parents are embarrassing, so she's like, oh, really, what when people ask you in interviews, what are you telling them? What are you saying? Oh, really? Oh, you're so embarrassed. She's at that age.
Yeah. He doesn't want to get out there and don't say nothing about me.
Yeah, I know.
There's another song that I like a lot. It's "I Don't Feel at Home."
Thank you.
What can you tell me about that song?
I mean, lyrically, it's written from a perspective of somebody in my family that's been struggling with addiction their whole life, and I'm watching them go through life in and out of addiction, and looking for somebody to just listen to them. And sometimes I think we tend to treat people that have an addiction, we look at them as if they're criminals, or it's their own fault, or we don't actually go, it's an illness, and these people need help, and sometimes they just need people to listen to. And it's kind of written from that perspective of seeing that in my own family, and I just wrote about it. I mean, I tend to express myself better in songs than I do any other way, and so it was a song about that, about how what I thought and how I saw them dealing with their struggles, their own personal struggles.
Yeah. Is it important to write about your own stuff, or you can write about anything?
I think I have to have some experience of it. I think it has to be something that happens to me, my family, or my friends, or stories that they have told me, that stuff that's happened to them. Look, every great storyteller and songwriter like Springsteen, Dylan, we can all embellish the truth a little bit. We can always invent characters and put them in these situations. And I'm no different. I like a song like Still Alive is about two fictional characters I just invented that are out, you know, in a muscle car, driving across the Midwest, robbing banks, getting fucked up, and being outlaws. But that comes to me from a love of like Western movies and gangster movies when I was a kid. That's my passion for that. So I'm creating the story from that perspective of what I used to love watching, and still do watching on television.
Yeah, because the name of the album is called "When Life Was Hard and Fast." What changed in life before, like when it was like that, and today?
This thing here I'm talking to you on. That's what changed. That's what changed. That's what changed everything.
What?
Everything.
Yeah,
We've become slaves to the internet, and we're slaves to our phones. That's just the way it is. That's things evolve, technology evolves. But that song was written by me and a really good friend of mine called Sam Robinson from Belfast, and we wrote it about being kids growing up in Northern Ireland and Belfast in the 70s and the 80s, and our experiences and our dreams and our hopes and our aspirations about when we were kids. And back then, your mom would kick you out of the house when the sun came up, and you'd play in the streets until the sun went down, and you got bruises and you got dirty and you got in trouble, and you were just always playing outside, and everything was just crazy. Certainly growing in Northern Ireland at that time, it was pretty crazy. So it's just really a song about the feelings that we had when we were kids. We dreamt of being a soccer star, or a rock star, or you know all those feelings you have of just eternal optimism that you have when you're a youth.
yeah. I have three kids myself, and nowadays, if you want to punish them, you tell them to go outside. It's the whole way around, huh? When we were kids.
You know, it's inevitable. I mean, look, there's nothing. Look, if we had the technology, we'd have been the same. We'd have been like using it. We'd have
Oh,
been
yeah.
used, when we were kids. Absolutely. So I don't blame them for it, but I just feel as a species, I mean, without getting too deep, we are so far away from nature and from spirituality. We're further away than we've ever been. And I think that's really sad. And I really feel in the last 25 years, we've lost something. Humanity's lost something, that I don't know if we're ever going to get it back,
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know too, eh? We'll see.
We will see.
Exactly. Other than your solo career, you're in the little band called Thin Lizzy.
Yes, sir.
Nobody knows about that. Um, and you were a fan of Thin Lizzy. When you got the call, did you answer right away, or did you say, okay, I'm going to call you back like in 10 minutes?
I answered straight away. I went
Really?
yes. The minute he asked me, I went yes, without even giving it a second thought. Because an opportunity like that maybe comes along once in your lifetime. Sometimes it doesn't come along at all. And you always dream about playing in your favorite band when you're a kid. I mean, that's what Life with Hard and Fast is about. It's that dreaming of. So I said yes, and then after I'd finished talking to Scott, that's when I went, shit, what have I done? How am I going to do this? What have I just agreed to do? That's when the fear and the anxiety and the trepidation and how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? That's when that all kind of started going on in my head. But I said yes because I thought, because Thin Lizzy was the soundtrack of my youth and soundtrack of my life, and Phil is, in my opinion, most inspirational rock and roll that there is. And I felt that I could do his songs justice. I felt I could keep his music alive and keep his spirit alive and keep his legacy alive. And I felt that I could do that. And if I didn't, I wouldn't have done it. I absolutely wouldn't have done it. I'd have no problem. So I've no problem. I'm one of these guys. I have no problem saying no in my life. No, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not one of these guys. Well, I need to think about it, even though I know in my mind it's made up. I'll just go, no, you know what? I'm not going to do it. But I knew that I could. I felt in my heart that I could do the songs justice. I really did.
And did you achieve it? I think.
That's not for me to. That's not for me to judge. That's for the people out there to judge. I think the fact that the shows were so successful, and after the first night we played in Aberdeen in Scotland, the whole rest of the tour sold out on the strength of the reviews from the first show. The fact that when we played in Dublin for the first time, Phil's mom came down to the show and pulled me aside and told me that, in her own words, that her Philip would have loved every minute of it, to hear his songs kept alive and being played with such passion and intensity and soul. That's all the validation I need. When Phil's mom said that, that was all the validation. Look, there's always going to be people that go, no Phil, no Lizzy, or it's not the same. When I close my eyes, I don't see me singing for Thin Lizzy, Lauren. I see Phil, and that's the way. Phil, I'm not the lead singer of Thin Lizzy. Phil Lynett's the lead singer of Thin Lizzy. He always will be, and that's the way that it should be. He's given me those songs to keep alive, and that's what I'm doing. I'm keeping those songs alive so people will go back and check out those Thin Lizzy albums that maybe were too young first time around and get into the band, or maybe they were too young to see the band live, but get a chance to hear the songs live. I'm just a keeper. I'm just, keeping the legacy going. That's how I look at it. I've never once ever dreamt of going, I'm singer Thin Lizzy, I can replace Phil. You can't replace Phil. He's irreplaceable. And I would never dream of doing that. I am a fan, and I treat it like a fan, and from a fan's perspective and what they would want. And I'm very passionate about it, and it means the world to me. I don't talk about it a lot. I don't go on websites and go, hey, I've been doing online shows. Somebody said, you should do a set of Thin Lizzy songs, and I went, no, I'm not going to do it. When Scott calls me to sing those songs, I'm there and I sing them and I give everything I've got, but that's it. I don't want to glorify it, because at the end of the day, Phil Lynett's the lead singer of Thin Lizzy. End of story.
Yeah. And your biggest fear was musically or with the fans? Because a lot of people don't like that. And not Tim Lizzy, but I mean, like, let's say Queen and Adam Lambert.
Who's amazing. I think
amazing.
Adam Lambert is amazing because he's keeping the song. Look, why do you write? If you write music, why does the music die when you die? I would love it if 20 years after I'm dead, somebody is out playing my songs. That's why I make music. You're leaving a legacy. You're creating something that is timeless, that is never going to die. Look, no matter what I did, somebody's always going to hate it. Somebody's always going to hate what you do in life, no matter how good it is. They just are. And those people, a lot of times, are going to go out of their way to tell you, because instead of just saying nothing, it makes them feel good to go, oh man, you suck, or I don't like you, I don't like your songs. And they feel good about that. But those people are missing something, and they're missing something in their life that they have to spread that negativity onto somebody else. I knew I could do a good job. I knew I could give it a good shot. Not everybody's going to like it, but then not everybody's going to like anything you do. You can't please everybody all the time. So you just got to be yourself and be positive. And I can, with my hand on my heart, I can say I definitely give when I sing those songs, I give everything I have into those songs.
Yeah. I always say everybody's the assholes of somebody else.
Yeah. It's like opinions. Everybody's got one, like arseholes,
After 30 years in music industry, do you think did you achieve what you wanted to achieve?
Yeah, I'm sitting here talking to you 30 years and I think that's it. 30 years, making music and making a living out of it is incredible. So yes, I mean, I've had an incredible career, and if it stopped tomorrow, I would have no regrets, and there'd be no bitterness, because I've toured the world multiple times. I've made records. I've met pretty much everybody I've ever wanted to meet that have been heroes of mine. Excuse me. And to get 30 years of doing what you love is no small achievement.
Yeah. And what about Black Star Riders? Is there anything in the books?
There was supposed to be everything this year. We were supposed to be playing everywhere in support of the last record. It came out at the end of 2019, but obviously because of the virus, everything got cancelled. The new album is written. It's demoed. We're just waiting for an opportunity to go in and record it, which will probably be next year now. Well, it will be next year now, obviously, this year's almost over. So next year we will record album number 5. And yeah, we'll see where we are after that.
Yeah, let's hope that we're going to see you guys in Montreal. That would be amazing.
It would be great. It's been 2018 was the last time we played there, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I hope that you're going to come back.
Beautiful city. Beautiful. It was cold. We were there. When were we there? We were there in February, March, I think. It was cold. It was good though. It was nice. I like it.
Cold in February.
Yeah, living in California, you get spoiled. But in Southern California, you get spoiled after a while. And when you do get somewhere snowy, you appreciate it. I know it's easy to say that when you don't live there the whole time, and the winters are hard. But it's nice to go somewhere and go, oh yeah, weather. I remember weather, snow, and seasons, and I've lived here too long. I'm becoming soft.
Yeah. So I thank you very much.
Thank you, Lauren.
And we'll see you soon. And we'll probably talk next year when the Black Star Riders album will come out. Let's hope.
You got it, man. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.